Hey hippies, Courtney Shavante here. I'm going to be showing you guys how to do my braid out on my locks. First, just take your favorite leave-in, grab some aloe vera gel or water if you prefer. And this is just some oil that I have mixed up here. Ignore the cocoa butter label. This is what my hair looks like. I did have like some perm rods in here because I had a perm rod set on my locks. And I'm not going to wash it. I'm just going to jump straight into it. Get your elastic bands ready so you have them prepared and off to the side. And now we're just going to spray our hair down. Now you want to make sure your locks are nice and moist. So if you think you've sprayed enough, just go ahead and spray a little bit more so that way you can be sure. You don't want them completely soaking wet, but you do definitely want them to leave moisture behind after you touch. So after you got them sprayed down really well, I'm going to just kind of split it into half here so that way it's easier to work with. I'm pulling one side up into like a little bun, and I'm just going to kind of move that out the way so that way I can just work with my hair. Use your elastic band to secure everything just to make sure it stays in place because you don't want any locks falling as you're working on the other side. So just make sure that they're all in that little elastic band and everything as well. I'm going to continue by spraying some more water on that side because like I said, I do want to make sure it's super, super, super damp. And I'm just kind of rubbing it through very, very well, making sure that everything's taking and soaking in the way that I need it to. Now, I'm going to pump about 3 or 4 little squirts of this leave-in right into the palm of my hand. And then I like to rub it all throughout my palms and really spread it around and warm it up because I noticed that makes it go into my hair a lot better. And I do want it to kind of penetrate the locks. And all the spray from the water or the aloe that you used earlier is definitely going to help make sure that the moisturizer or leave-in that you're using really penetrates and goes through and gets to all of your strands. So once the strands are coated with that leave-in, I'm going to take a little bit of oil, and I'm going to do the same thing pretty much. Just rub it between my hands to warm it really well. And then I'm going to rub it through my hair. Now, I don't want to OD on the leave-in conditioner or the oil because I do want to make sure that these braids, the crinkles from the braids, they stay for a long time because I'm really trying to maximize this style because I like to mess in my hair as little as possible. Now, don't mind any of the faces I'm making, as I know I make a lot of crazy faces while I'm doing my hair, but it's because I keep my glasses up with my nose like that, and it just makes it easier for me to see what's going on because I can't see at all. But anyway, you're just going to go ahead and separate 3 locks out so that way you can do the braid or just kind of do them in a way that makes sense depending upon how many locks you do have in your head. After I separate that, I'm going to tie the rest up in my little elastic kind of loosely just so I can pull some more out later. And from here, you just want to grab from the base, and I try not to pull too tight at the base. So I do leave like a little bit of room, and you're just going to braid it on down. Now, as you can see, like I don't have a fresh retwist by any means. So this is a hairstyle that you can most definitely do regardless of whether you have a fresh retwist or not. And I promise you it will look good and it's going to camouflage a lot of the new growth that you do have going on. So we're just going to braid this all the way down to the tip, because if you get it all the way down to the tip as far as you can, then it'll pull the crinkles down all the way down to that level too. Now I'm going to just do the same thing here again with another I guess set of 3 locks, and I'm going to form another braid, just getting a little bit closer so you all can really see what I got going on here. You can also see some of the white from the leave-in as well, and that's fine. It is going to eventually like kind of go in, but my hair is still very damp right now, as yours should be too if you're following what I'm saying. and you should still see like the moisturizers and the stuff poking through until the braids completely dry. Now, once you get to the end of that, just secure it with a little rubber band and everything, and then you'll be good to go. Continue that all over the rest of your head, and then it should look something like this. As you can see, I have everything braided up nicely, and I have 93 locks, so I had a perfect amount for my braid out. You're just going to take your foaming mousse and spray it directly into your hand, just like we did everything else. Rub it around a little bit, and then we're going to moisturize this all into our locks. This is what's going to help keep them in place and everything and give you some hold. And after you do this step, you're just going to let this completely dry. Now, you can definitely keep this in like this as a style and just kind of wear the braids until you're ready to wear the braids out. It's completely up to you. I personally end up waiting like a week before I took mine out. So what you see me doing here is moisturizing my locks with a little bit of oil before I take them out, because I don't want them to, look super frizzy or anything like that. And my face is very oily because I have Vaseline all over it, and it just kind of really helps with my skin. So, life hack right there. Don't say I never told you nothing. But you just want to go ahead and take the rubber bands off of each braid and take your time separating each braid so that way you don't pull the locks, because you don't want to pull at the roots or anything, because that will weaken them. And as you can see, it's coming out very, very crinkly already. Like, you can really see how like the crinkles have really set into the locks. And I truly believe that this will work on any like lock size, as long as they're not too large. If you can braid it down, you'll be able to get crinkles in your locks if you want them. So just go ahead and remove the rest of your head. I sped this up a bit, and obviously I'm not showing the entire takedown, but I would not take this down right before you have to go somewhere unless you have some time and you're doing it ahead of time. It does take a little bit of time to get all these braids out, so just keep that in mind, and that's why you see me doing it at night instead of in the morning. So now that all the braids are out, I'm going to just go ahead and moisturize my scalp now. So the first time I put the oils directly on the locks, this time I'm just going through my scalp. As you can see, that new growth is still there when I'm separating. However, the volume from the braid out is definitely camouflaging it. So it looks really, really good. I'm just going to moisturize this oil all the way through my scalp, because I want to make sure that it's able to get in between those little areas that weren't able to be oiled very well when the braids were in. And look how cute these curls are. These curls are popping. After I finish moisturizing my scalp, I go across my edges with some Jamaican black castor oil. I swear by Jamaican black castor oil. I put it on my edges every time I do my twist outs, and just every so often, so that way I can make sure that they look good and they're nice and full. So once I do that, I'm just going to put it in this bonnet. And keeping it real here, this is the only time that I wore a bonnet the whole time that I had this braid out. And I'm going to be showing you guys like a 2-week update, so that way you can see what it looks like in 2 weeks. But just make sure they're all in there. So this is what I was saying. This is what it looks like 2 weeks later. As you can see, the braid out still looks great. I'm not someone who has to have my hair like very, very perfect, so I don't lay my edges and do all of that. I really like how the naturalness of my locks really, really look, and I just really embrace it at like all stages. So as you can see, like I can kind of put a part anywhere and just kind of wear them down. I've also worn it up, and I just really, really love this style. I hope you guys too. Have any questions or comments, leave them for me below and I'll try to get to you. But until next time, bye hippies. Mwah.